I've always believed that comics is a legitimate art form, and it was so frustrating being in college. Like, there are certain artists that were allowed into the curriculum and certain artists that weren't. And I would always ask them, like, when I was back in school for painting and printmaking, like, we could look at Andy Warhol, we could look at Ansel Kiefer or David Saldi or somebody. But I was like, well, what about Jack Kirby? Like, can we look at Jack? Like, no, that's comic books. And then it's like, okay, well, then is it merely money? Like, do you just want to see some money? Here's Frank Frazetta, motherfucker. You happy now? But then it's like, that's not enough. There is something that's very special to comics that makes it a different art medium. The French call it the ninth, right? We already have dance, poetry, literature, music, right? Go on the line. And then eventually comics is something, it's a weird hybrid of storytelling and picture making. And I think it's its own medium. It's special. It really is.
What's up, everybody? My name is Alicia Way, and welcome.
I am so tired. I'm so tired. So we're going to get through this. We are. Because you guys deserve better. But welcome to my Wednesday Comics, August 27th edition. My name is Rocky Ballesteros, and I'm going to be moving at half speed at best, if not quarter speed today. But that doesn't mean I have all the time in the world. That means I'm really sluggish because last night we had an epic master study stream for those of you who joined me that actually went like 4.5, almost 5 hours. It was kind of nutso, and I wasn't anticipating it going that late, but it did. And I want to give a special shout out to everybody that stuck around with me till the wee hours of the night, specifically the last two standing, Comrade Sammy and Emo Trash, were there. They did it. I thought I would be the last one. I mean, it would be ridiculous if I wasn't the last man standing. That would be a horrible way to end the stream if I was passed out and people were still around. But we joked about that yesterday. And Comrade Sammy and Emo Trash, though, they stuck with it. They were troopers, man. And not to discount anybody else who showed up last night. It just went on long. But those guys are farther forward in time. I believe Central and East Coast time zones, both of them. And so if I'm exhausted, you guys must be really exhausted. I just hit a Nespresso right before the stream started, and it's not doing anything. So I'm really tired. As is Comrade Sammy. How are you doing, Comrade Sammy? What time did you wake up? I woke up probably around 7-ish, which if I went to bed around 2-ish my time, so 5 hours, maybe 4.5 hours of sleep. I can't imagine. what time or how much time sleep you got. But I apologize. It was a great stream. I was really happy with the end result. But part of the reason that it kind of got derailed was there was a big accident yesterday. So if you guys weren't there when it happened, or you haven't watched the stream yet, please go back and watch it. That would make it worth it for me if you guys actually watched it and got me watch hours just for that disaster. But long story short, I was inking the master study of that John Byrne page. I was trying to get it done because we had that one last panel to do, and it was turning out great. And about 2 hours and 50 minutes into it, I was moving papers around. I had the inkwell in my hand, and it like shifted and just ink splattered everywhere. It was not good. Let me see if I could pull that up here. Let me see if I could pull that up, and you guys can see in all its glory. Give me 1 second. You might hear some audio in a second here, but let me. How do I do this? Yeah, no, I don't want to hear that audio.
Everybody? My name is Alicia Way, and welcome to another installment of Demo Mode Pros. On this episode, we're going to talk about web widgets. We have Cat over here.
Okay, sorry. I need to. How do I change this guy?
She is a web widget extraordinaire.
Stop.
And she's gonna...
See, I'm already tired. Oh, this is how I do it. Duh. Okay. Save. Yes. And then pause. Okay, let me see if I can fast forward it here. Okay. Pause. And then go full screen. Okay, publish. Can you guys see that? All right, so this is from the stream yesterday. How funny, my head is in the way. I'm going to turn off my head. Well, no, it's okay. Or I can move it. Let me move it. Oi, oi, oi. Like I said, okay. You're going to get 2 heads for the price of 1. So, here's the stream. And then, let me turn on the audio. Okay. You guys hear that okay? Piece of his... Yep. So what are we at? Piece of his boot. Just fast forward a little bit. All this is crazy. Okay. These rocks are crazy. So, 2.5 hours in, tiredness is starting to settle in. Cool though, right? That was looking pretty cool. Kind of burn. Look how cool that was turning out. Figuring out those were like pieces. Don't let me go down that route. Of like stone on Wolverine's costume right there. Classic. Okay, let's see. You'll start see it when I start moving around the papers. Is fine. Oh, here we go. I try and limit, if I'm up late, I try and limit to what I eat to be like... See that precarious inkwell on the left side? That's just as bad, because I know fruit... Getting PTSD right now. Fruit has a lot of sugar in it. Or I'll just brush my teeth, so then that's like, kitchen is closed once I do that. And then I'll just let my stomach... A little further. A little further. Gosh, this is making me nervous. Okay, watch this. Booyah! Actually, that's... You see it get up at the top there on Kitty Pryde's face. Now what? Oh, my stars and garters. Yeah. So that is kind of what we had to deal with. That's what we had to deal with last night. But you know what? It was okay. And proud of myself to like power through and say, no, we can do it. And I pulled out the white out, or what do they call it? The pro white paint, did the correction, and it actually turned out great where it is right now. I'm not totally done. I got about like probably 90% done last night. But that accident powered me through to try and like get to the end, at the very end. And I told the story to the chat yesterday of an experience I had when I was a senior in college, and kind of a disaster happening during a production. And so it just like clicked in for me of like a different gear of like, I guess we're doing this. And so that's kind of what happened. But I probably think that it extended the stream by another hour and a half dealing with that disaster. And I had to like clean my table this morning and try and treat the clothes I was wearing because I got some ink on my clothes. It was a bigger mess than you guys saw. That was just on the paper. But I can show you where we are at here. Oops, upside down. Look at that. I have a few more things to do. I started even inking the lettering here, the sound effects, which is pretty cool. I added, you guys can't see. I can do it close here. I added the hairs. That was one thing that I was looking forward to / not looking forward to, the like hairs on Wolverine's arms and like how to treat that. So yeah, it's turning out great, but I do have some stuff to touch up. But I patched this all up already. As good as new. You would have never known unless you were there. But this page has seen the battle scars for sure. And I am not ever going to become a sponsor and or someone to recommend Speedball Ink, because that's 2 disasters in the span of that one page that ink has given me. And not to mention, I've had countless smears that I've had to correct by using that ink. So it's a really messy ink. It's a lot more watery. It doesn't dry as fast as some of the other inks I've used. And overall, it's made my life a little bit harder. But all that to say, that is what made the stream go late yesterday. And now I'm operating on 50% energy. Comrade Sammy says, double whammy for me because I worked out and my whole body is killing me. That's your fault. That's your fault, Comrade Sammy. I would not work out after a night like that. I would call it an off day or a skip day for me. Cranberry Langer says, you're late.
This is a cranberry full of power.
Late. Cranberry Langer does not like the lateness. But Cranberry Langer was there for part of it, part of the stream, but I think it was right before you left, or right after you left, Cranberry, that all hell broke loose. So take that as you will. I just saw, where is it? Lindsay Rose is in the house. How you doing, Lindsay Rose?
Roses are red. Violets are blue.
She said, it's a good thing I didn't know you were streaming last night, Rocky, or else you would have been up as late. It would have been crazy. And you say you feel tired already, all the way around. I love this. For the record, I'm eating Jello with peaches in it, Lindsay Rose says. That's awesome. I actually finished the last bit of the lime Jello surprise, lime Jello salad during lunch just now. And I fed the last piece to one of my son's friends who happened to be in our house at the same time. I was like, hey, you want to try this out? And so he ate a piece as well. He said it was pretty good. He did have an issue with the texture, but he said the flavor was really good. So overall, it seems like texture is kind of an issue with that one. If I were to do it differently, I'd probably add less nuts, maybe not chop them up as fine as I did. But anyway, that's the lime Jello stream. If you guys missed that, you can go back and watch. We've had some crazy streams this last week already, so I don't know. This one's going to seem really tame and dull compared to the last couple of streams we've had. Comrade says, Sammy says, you're the reason I shut off my alarm this morning. Yep. I was definitely the reason I shut off my alarm as well. Shame I missed out on the craziness, Cranberry Langer said. No, it was good. It was good. And it's probably good that you left out, because you probably got about an hour to 2 hours more sleep than the rest of us. Comrade Sammy's wondering if we'll see emo. Me too. Emo. All I know is it was like roosters were crowing and it was daylight time. Well, not daylight time, but she had some relatives come home and say, like, I don't know if they came back from the night shift or something, but it sounded like people were waking up over there while Emo Trash was still on stream. Mr. Monkey Boy 1969.
How do you say monkey in French?
He's asking for bande dessinée. Man, I am failing Mr. Monkey Boy 1969 big time with the bande dessinée requests. Do you go to other streams to see bande dessinée, Mr. Monkey Boy 1969? There is a channel that I subscribe to, which is a French channel, and they do flip throughs of a bunch of bande dessinée. So I can send you that link sometime in the future if you're needing that fix. Let's see. In case anyone was wondering, me and Emo were pretty much the last one standing. There you go. Comrade Sammy witnessed it. She witnessed it in all its glory. John, will Rocky put me to sleep or not? Time will tell.
Goes, what's your name? He goes, John.
You know, yesterday I did put you to sleep, John. So let's see if I can do that during the day. I can put myself to sleep right now. Like I could literally take a nap right now. I'm pretty tired. But I wasn't tired enough to get to the store. Which was great. Now I have a little update too. I went to Invisible Jet Comics. That's Chris's shop. That was the trailer that I played, the comic book store trailer that I played right before stream. But I had a great conversation with her and a great update that I will let you guys know. That's how you get around the copyright, Rocky. How do I get around the copyright? Streaming myself? John says it was inktacular. That's right. It was something. It was something. But you know what? I was telling this to Chris this morning. I shared with her what happened. And I said, you know what? It's good you guys saw that. Because I think oftentimes all we're faced with in entertainment or with things that we consume as fans, we usually just see the end product. And you don't see the like toil and the struggle that goes into it. And we're quick to like criticize the end product and say, oh, that looks horrible. Oh, the art's bad or whatever. The colors look weird. But maybe you didn't see the person like struggling to get to that point. Not that we like should pity people's bad art just because they struggle to do it. But I think it's good to see process like that. And I know that when I look at original art pages, one of the first things I look at is the corrections that are done on it. Because it just makes it a lot more human. Like it gives you that human connection of like, oh, a person created this. A person wrestled with the ink and the brush and the whiteout to get this to look as great as it printed into a comic book for me. So, but I have had that backfire on me where I've looked at original art. There's some actual original art pages that I own, comic book pages. And I look at them and they look perfect. Like there is not a correction to be seen. And I don't know how the artist did it. So sometimes that can be depressing because when I hold up my pages next to their pages, it's like, there's a wide gap here. There is a wide gap in competency here. Comrade Sammy says, I almost didn't make it. I could see my tiredness creeping in via my typos. That's okay. It was great that you were there. Rocky suffers to bring us art. That's right. At least I didn't bleed on the art. That's coming next. And I have stabbed myself with one of those crow quills before in the past. And it actually left me with like, I don't think you can see it. Yeah, you can't see it. But it left me with like a tattoo on my thumb here. I mean, it's not like I was trying to tattoo myself, but I remember this was from college, stabbing myself in the thumb with one of those crow quills, and it had ink on it. And I was like, oh, so that's how tattoos are made. Cranberry Langer says, I was drinking tea to stay conscious. Nice. Have to get back to work. Ciao. I'll see you later, Cranberry. Hope you swing back in here later. But yeah, there was an incident for sure. Comrade Sammy had an alarm set to 9, but then I said, nope, I'm going back to sleep. Then I didn't wake till 11. Dang. And then the cycle continues, because then you won't get tired until 11, 12 your time. And then you're going to get caught up in another stream. I am not late streaming tonight, so blame somebody else for the perpetual sleep cycle, or not sleep cycle. But yeah, that's what's bad with sleeping in, is then you don't get tired early enough to get back on the regular schedule. And then it starts all over again. Trying to train Rocky to stop holding his inkwell. I know, John. It really is. It really is my fault. For last night, Rocky did not ink well. Nice. Double the Rocky. That's right. That's right. It's not all hair. It's not all hair. Pay no mind to any Rocky roars you may hear. Yes. So in that stream, started getting a little loopy at the end, and apparently I was roaring too much because, I mean, Wolverine's jumping at camera and screaming, and so I kind of had to do that as I was inking it. But it's all part of the method. Still that dot on the right shoulder delt. Saw it this time. You did? What? John? What dot? What are you talking about? Is it this one? That's supposed to be there. Yes? That's a piece of debris. I need to hand you like a laser pointer in the chat where you can like show where. I have about a few little like action lines to do here, a little bit more debris. The cool thing with how John Byrne was doing these letters, and you can see I drew it here, is he treated it as if they were transparent. And so that means I have to draw in the rest of his body here behind these letters. But it's kind of a cool effect. It makes it feel like the sound effects are part of the scene. It like integrates them a little bit more as opposed to just being stamped on top. So I kind of like that. But yeah, I got to finish the drawings behind these letters. Got some action lines to add in. And then I want to thicken up this line on the exterior of this alien creature, just because he's more in the foreground. So I want to give his line a heavier weight than he does right now. But yeah, it's coming together. It's coming together. And I can't wait. I should be like probably about an hour or so away from finishing this page. Then I'll do the border, which is a weird border, but yeah, I'll do the bordering here. Anyway, I don't know what you're talking about, John. Whatever dot. It might just have to permanently be there. Stars and Garters. How old are you? Mark's Music Obsession. Hey, Mark. Kind of tied up. Hopefully can make it back. Awesome for you to say hello, Mark. We missed you yesterday, but we all knew you were taking your beauty nap while we were spilling ink all over everything yesterday. Quite a few people were like, Mark, what? Mark's going to be bummed. He's going to be upset. But glad you came in here. Perhaps you just need to learn new habits with the speedball ink. No. I just blame the ink itself. It's too jumpy. it's too unpredictable. Maybe it's good for somebody who has more of that kind of temperament. But I'm a little bit more measured, a little bit more controlling, and the lack of control with that ink is not a good thing. It stresses me out. Gives me a lot of anxiety. The printer button is back. Oh, is that bothering you? I'm going to do this. Can you still see it? Oh, I guess you can still see it. Well, that's just part of it. I could turn off my printer, but hopefully it's not too distracting, the glowing of that button. Texture can make or break for something to eat. Yeah. John, just the original workout time I had planned. Sometimes, and I watch Pipeline Comics, a guy from Finland. No kidding. Those Finnish, I actually started watching a couple of Finnish, they're not chiropractors. They're like personal trainers, just because I was having like, you guys knew I was having like stuff with my back, like figuring out this like back issue I had. And the way they describe stuff, it was kind of cool. It was like really robotic and unemotional and really straightforward. And I really loved their videos. So I'll have to check that out. A guy from Finland, Mr. Monkey Boy, if you can, post the link. It's a comic guy from Finland. Sounds like it'd be right up my alley. Naps are lovely. Who is that Asian artist which passed in past few years but would ink big murals without sketches? I think Jung Ji Kim, I believe was his last name. I think he was Jung Ji Kim. I think he was Korean, maybe? Or was he Chinese? I can't remember. But I think he probably had to be on the spectrum or something because he had a photographic memory and he could just like, with a ballpoint pen or like a felt tip pen, just draw these unbelievable artscapes, like people from like crazy angles and like cars and buildings. And yeah, he just had one of those people that was like, his brain operated on a different plane. Kim Jung-ji, thank you, Mr. Monkey Boy, 1969. Yeah, he passed away tragically too young, like out of nowhere. So really sad because he was crazy good talent. Nice, me neither. True, I probably will end up staying up super late tonight, but I do that anyway, so it's fine. We even got new sound effects. We did? What sound effects did we get? Was that the drawing sound effects? Don't get me wrong, I very much enjoyed the small cub roars. Ay, ay. What's that link, John? What is that link? I'm very curious when I see links. Oh, Kim Jung-ji. Yeah. Great. That's awesome. Check it out. Lindsay Rose, if you don't know that artist or anybody else, he's incredible. Incredible talent. This is The Thickening. It's a broken border, Rocky. Mighty Geek Studios. Mighty Geek Studios was there last night for some of the shenanigans. Yeah, it is a broken border. It's also... I don't know why I keep putting this away because I keep pulling it out. It's a broken border here, but then for some odd reason he drew like this edge here. I mean, I get it. It's like as if he took the board the panel and like rotated it. Gives it this like kink dynamic feel to it. I get it. I just feel like once I draw this line, it's going to look really weird. So, but that's kind of the way it is. It's not like this line, like it creates this like blank negative space gutter here, which I think that's why it makes the kinked frame look a little odd. If that kinked frame was behind these frames, then I almost feel like that would make more sense, but whatever. I'll just follow this guy, whoever this artist's name is. John Byrne. What does he know about comics? What does that guy know about comics? MMO is getting beautiful while we were getting ugly. Something like that. Mr. Monkey Boy loves the printer button. Do you? Printer button does not bother you? Okay, good. You guys say that now. Now you're going to stare at it. You're going to totally stare at it. Mr. Monkey Boy 1969. Did you send me a link to... Where are we? Oh, Analog Comics. All right, let's see. Aha! Nice. Okay, I'm bookmarking that. That looks cool. Love me some new links to comic channels. There was one that I think it was called Oblivion. I don't know. They did some interview with Trad Moore, which he's an artist I really enjoy, and they were interviewing him. I haven't watched that interview yet, but I was like, oh, cool. And then go down the rabbit hole of comic book channels on YouTube. You should do a stream about your master studies and decide which one gave you the most trouble. I should. A review, right? A master study review, maybe? That would be good. I still have to do some of those summary videos of the other master studies. I am behind on the edited videos. So yeah, that's a great idea though, John. John, to be fair, we probably were getting ugly. I mean, you see these bags under Rocky's eye. They're there though. They're there. My eyes are probably really red as well. Really red. They're gonna get dry in a second here. All right. Could carry all his. Stop it, you guys. Okay, so Mighty Geek Studio says, well, he's responsible for Alpha Flight's She-Hulk we know and love. Yes, yes. Fine. John Byrne knows what he's talking. No, I love John Byrne. I think he's amazing. So I will follow whatever path he goes on. As far as whatever choices he makes, I will humbly follow those. All right, I'm going to try and do this not fast, but quick. I didn't have a lot of books this week, which is probably a good thing because I don't know how long I would have lasted in this stream. But I did pick up some books and I do want to share them with you guys. And I had mentioned in the little blurb that I posted on X that I have 2 books that are from ongoing series that I've been picking up and 1 new one this week. And then I kind of have a surprise graphic novel that I've never looked at on stream here before. But the first one is, surprise, surprise, Geiger number 17 came out. I've caught up on reading the back issues of this one. So very, consistently a great book. This is an awesome moon here on the cover. I mean, how many times have people drawn full moons on the covers of comic books? And when they're done really cool, it's always impressive, even though I've seen like a million full moons before. But this is really cool. But I was iffy about picking up this issue of Geiger only because the last issue was another artist, not the regular artist Gary Frank. It was a guest artist, and his artwork was decent, but a big reason why I pick up Geiger is just Gary Frank is just a great artist. He did this cover, so you can see the talent that Mr. Frank brings to the table. But so I was actually thinking I might skip this next issue because they brought in another guest artist, not the same one that did 16, but a totally new artist who I've never heard of before, Eduardo Pensica. So I was like, all right, well, I'll give it a flip through. And this is kind of how I am in stores when I'm iffy about a book. I will give it a flip through, and if I feel compelled to get it, I will. So at the end of the last issue, Geiger just basically went full nuclear and blew himself up. And so you were left with that, which this is a great way to start it off. Just seeing his like burned ash body. But once I flipped the page to this page, I was like, whoa, okay. Like that's a cool drawing. And let me just see. Yeah, different artist is doing the coloring, not Brad Anderson. So this is great. You can already see a level of like competency just by this first panel. So I was like, oh, okay, you got my attention. And just flipping through it, I actually like this artist a lot better than the artist from the last issue. I think he's more in line with the technical level that Gary Frank has been bringing to Geiger. And the colors too are pretty cool. And look at these horses with gas masks on. That's pretty awesome. But yeah, he's got a cool style, great ability. That's a great face right there. Kind of reminds me of Gary Frank's rendering style too. So yeah, he feels like he fits more in this world than the previous guest artist. So now it looks like they're putting him in this like prison scenario. That's a great face right here too. Emo Trash is here. She says, I'm probably here. We add. Sorry, I had to help that pop a little bit more. Probably here, Emo Trash is. Good morning, Emo Trash. How are you? Mr. Anderson. Emo Trash was just saying earlier you were one of the last, you and Comrade Sammy were the last people standing. And I don't know what time you woke up this morning, but I didn't get to sleep in too late. Had stuff to do. Had to get to a mechanic this morning and drive people to school and all that jazz. And so the day kept going. I wish I could have slept in longer than I did, but now I'm feeling it. Totally feeling it. Anyway, flashback stuff. We're getting more backstory here. Geiger, and it's turning into like a prison story a little bit, seems like. But these are great. These close-ups have got a lot of weight to them, and feels like Gary Frank, feels like Ivan Rice, who does Hyde Street, kind of lives in that similar world of rendering. Rocky got through chat in 30 minutes. That's right. Almost. To be honest, that sound effect is my life. Emo Trash says, I don't remember going to sleep. If I did, it was maybe an hour, but I'm here. Dang. Jeez. I don't know what to say. There's a little epilogue here starring Junkyard Joe, another character in the Ghost Machine world. And he crossed paths with Geiger earlier on, a few issues back. And so I think they're kind of bringing those storylines tighter together. And Gary Frank did draw this stuff back here. Look at that, the little baby mutant zebra from previous issues has now grown up into an adult mutant zebra. So something's going to happen. I love this image. Geiger on an electric chair. Reminds me of that iconic image of from Sin City, Frank Miller's Sin City, with the guy in the electric chair. Just like, come on. Like he doesn't care. And next issue, issue 18, is drawn by the same guy. So there you go. They roped me in with a guest artist. And it just goes to show, like, the stories for these Ghost Machine books, Geiger, Redcoat, and Rook Exodus, which the new run of Rook Exodus should debut soon. I believe it's in October. Just goes to show, like, even though their artists take a break, like, their stories and the characters they're developing are strong enough to, like, keep someone like me engaged and buying. And I know that from what I've heard from the different comic book store owners, Ghost Machine books are doing really well. And they've just, everybody's been impressed with the level and the quality that they've consistently been able to come out on these books. Most all of their books are doing really well. This guy seems like he's going to be introduced. Oh, he's from volume 1, which I never read, but here he is right here. Goldbeard. We got to read up on that guy. So there you go. Geiger number 17. Cool. Whet your appetite a little bit. Mutant zebra, that's right. There's a lot of mutant animals. They have that two-headed dog and then the three-eyed zebra. And I thought there was another animal, but maybe that was not part of the team. But yeah, it seems like they're going to flesh out that story more with that zebra. Something's going to happen. Art and Times of Jay Ryan's here. What's up, Art and Times, Jay Ryan?
It's actually a really good sculpt.
He was here last night watching some of that Burn Master Study. That was good. Yeah, it was funny because the crowd that came out last night to watch the stream, although a lot of you guys, my regulars, were there were the night owls that came out. And the joke too was that like the later that I stream, the more the people who are, it's really late, like the East Coasters, show up. That didn't make any sense to me. It's like, wait, you guys should be the last ones in stream because of the time difference. But they were. Okay, before I get into this next book, Absolute Martian Manhunter. Oh, and we are going to do this again today. A little reformatting here. First book, Geiger 17. So I think the way I'm going to do it is depending on, we'll go through all the books that I have today, and then based on the votes that we'll have at the very end of the show, I might, if it's different than what the thumbnail is today, I will probably try and change the thumbnail to whatever the winning book is. So get ready to keep in mind which one is the one you vote for. So Geiger 17 is the first book. Okay, so before I get into Absolute Martian Manhunter number 6, I'll give you guys an update on Invisible Jet Comics. So Invisible Jet Comics is a local store here owned by a woman owner by the name of Chris. She's awesome. I met her when she first opened the store almost 2 years ago, and just got to know her, talk with her, just let her know who I was and kind of the things I'm doing. And I was starting up the YouTube channel very similar time that she started her store. So it was a lot of like kindred mojo between us as we were talking about just starting these things and our love of comics and what we wanted to do with it. Well, go figure, a year almost to the day that her store was open, there was a fire in the building that, in the adjoining building that her store is at, and she had to shut down. She had this huge anniversary celebration set up. I was going to go and kind of check it out. And then there was a fire. And fortunately, there wasn't a fire in her store, but there was a fire, I believe it was above her store. And so when they put out the fire and the sprinklers, a lot of the water seeped through the floor into her building and damaged quite a bit of her store and the books in it. As you can imagine, water and comics don't mix. And so it was really tragic, really hard for her. She had to shut down the store. She went to like kind of a window service for a few months. And then she was able to secure a temporary space a couple blocks down, fortunately, and set up a new shop there. So that's where she's been for the last year plus. And, she's just made do. It's like, it's a cool space, but it wasn't what she had. And, she had to start basically all over again. So it was a tough time, but I really applaud Chris for sticking with it. Just kind of keeping her head like in the game and like just doing what it took to like get back out on her feet. So I just found out today that apparently her old building, the old store, is going to be ready for her to move in sometime by the end of this year. So she is planning kind of a big move out celebration when she moves into the new space. And so she was telling me, she's like, hey, she knew I made that video for her, and she was like, hey, if you want to shoot a new video or and I was like, that would be amazing. So I even talked to her, like, I would love to get some footage of her, like, moving and, like, resetting up, just because it's kind of part of her story now. It's like a phoenix rising from the ashes. So anyway, she was totally down for that and really excited about it. She also is the person who introduced me to Evan from the Evan Edition podcast. And so she connected us just randomly and made that happen. And so I just really appreciate Chris and all she does, and just her vision for her store and the broader comic community here in the city. So I want to support her as much as I can. I will definitely keep you guys updated as I find out more information. But yeah, it'll be great. It'll be a great time to kind of celebrate and like just, be happy for her to move back into her old space. So that's where I went this morning to go pick up these books. And as I was talking to her, like, she was putting them out, and then she was just sharing with me like what's going to happen to her store. So I was very, very excited about that. Let's see. Geiger has a mutant zebra now. He does. He did and has had. He does good horses. Yes, he does. Those are great. Horses are hard. They're beautiful animals, but they are hard to draw. Dude's beard didn't look gold. Right? Yeah, I didn't pick up on that. I mean, I didn't understand why they called him Goldbeard, but I think it has something to do with the fact that he's a pirate, or a pirate in this world. Jay Ryan says, I had a good crowd last night as well. Awesome. That's great. Hey, Mo Big stuck it out for most of the stream, and he's your time, right? He is, yes. You guys beat out a fellow fellow as in a fellow for me, West Coaster. So that's amazing. Not every person who was there. Yeah. Closed for anniversary sale, right? Yes. Yeah. It was tough. It was tough on her. And she had some down days for sure, but she's got resilience, Chris does. And it seems like she's doing really well. Like, it was crowded there this morning when I went. A lot of regulars there, it seems like. And she's the kind of person who will give suggestions of stuff, like just random suggestions, like, hey, have you checked out this book? Or have you thought of this? Or and one of the books she pointed out to me, which I have not read, it's gotten a lot of press. It's apparently really good, but I haven't had the chance to like sit down and like digest it or like try to read it. But it's that book called Beneath the Trees. I think the artist is, I want to say it's Patrick Horvath, I think is the name of the writer artist. But it's like a very, very dark adult comic story of cute animals. And I think he's a serial killer, or she's a serial killer. So it's really, really dark. But apparently it's really good too. So that started its second story run. It finished the first one. They made a graphic novel, which hopefully one day I'll pick it up and read it. But they started the second novel. So today she was like, hey, have you seen this book? And I was like, oh, I've heard of it, but I haven't read it yet. Lick the like, please. That or hit the like. Lick it or hit it, whatever. East Coast is the Beast Coast, or in times of J. Ryan. I've heard it's the least coast, actually. West is the best, right? Isn't that how it goes? Okay, Absolute Martian Manhunter, number 6. This book continues to be bizarre and weird, but I enjoy it a lot. And there's this new character they introduced last issue. There was like a heat wave going through the city, and it started off with this character here who has this circle head. It's kind of crazy. It's so like mental, this book is. It's like, is this happening in real? I think that's kind of the shtick. The whole point of it is like, is it happening in reality, or is it happening in a different plane, like in your psyche? And it dances in and out of reality and inside John's brain. And so, but it's never really clear what is reality sometimes. So like, is this dude with the white circle head, is that really what it looks like? Or is that just how Martian Manhunter is seeing it? But yeah, it's just playing with stuff. And I love it because it's playful and it breaks the rules. It's like doing stuff like this, putting the word balloon inside the circle head, and it's a perfectly circle head. It's not even a dimensional, just a flat circle. It's really bizarre. But what a cool compositional element. And then Martian Manhunter, the Martian form, is breaking all sorts of reality and rules. So it's such a unique book. I almost feel like this book will get, I think I'll like it even better. And I already like it because I like the art. I know some of you guys don't like the art style of Javier Rodriguez, but I think it's great. And I love the colors. But I feel like these stories almost would read better as a compiled graphic novel than it does as individual issues. Because oftentimes when I'm reading the issue and I start a new one, I'm like, okay, wait, what happened in that? Like, it was so weird what happened in the last one. I don't have like continuity. So I feel like if I had them all compiled in one thing, it would flow a little bit more better. A little bit better, not more better. But yeah, like these weird kind of things here. I love that. And not that it stylistically feels like this book I'm about to mention, but it breaks the rules of storytelling and like abstracts them and does some interesting things with them, like not what you would think of conventionally. Similar to like the Spirit, Will Eisner's The Spirit. He always did all sorts of weird things like this, like the letters would be in the environment or characters would be jumping from panel to panel and he'd have these crazy transitions. So it kind of has a little bit of that in there. It's almost like an art piece, this book, more than a mainstream comic. So I can understand why people don't like it or not as into it. But I like it. I really do. It's just so different than anything else out there. Like, what the heck? He's totally referencing like an abstract artist, like Kandinsky or something, with this kind of stuff. It's crazy, really crazy layouts and panels. This color shift here. He's totally art schooling it up the wazoo. And then this is similar to something they did in the first issue where, I guess we can't do it here. But, oh, there you go. It's like a see-through thing. You like hold it up to the light. Isn't that crazy? It's totally art school. So yeah, here you go. Absolute Martian Manhunter. So if you've liked this series, if you've read this series and collected the series, this is more of the same. You never know what you're going to get each issue. And I kind of like that. Just a quick side note. I flipped through this. I did not like this at all. I was like, this could be really cool or really not cool. And I didn't really like it. It's like anime armor Batman. It's exactly what you think it might be. All right. There you go. Absolute Martian Manhunter number 6. We're flying. Why was not alerted about this super show? Mo Big said.
Better known as Mo, Big wasn't always the confident voice we hear today.
You might have been alerted. You might have been asleep, though. Mo Biggs, he lasted quite a bit last night. But Super Show was yesterday. If Super Show means really long, rocky show, spilling ink all over stuff, that was yesterday. Today is just a regular show. How you doing, Mo Biggs? Both okay, cool peeps on both. It's got that revolutionary $4.99 coloring. Oh my goodness. I like the coloring. I do. I like it. It's different. Breaking Reality is the best. Looks like Mike Allred, kind of. Yeah, kind of has a little bit of that like poppy clean line style. It's like their color wheel had a flat tire. I like that That's a good description. That one should be printed on the back of the graphic novel compilation. You can really tell that most of these books are written for the trades specifically. Yeah, I guess, artists, companies, whatever, they can't help but think about that, right? Because it's such the vehicle that most people read books. Like, a lot of people say floppies are going the way of the dodo. I'd like to think not. I love floppies. There's something about it that is different than the trades. But at the same time, if 9 times out of 10, this is going to get compiled, the first six to 10 issues are going to get compiled into trade. I can't imagine like a writer and an artist can't help but think how that's going to work together. And that would affect the kind of storytelling you do, the kind of stories you stretch out or don't stretch out. And I just realized a book that I think came out this week that I didn't find on the rack. I'll have to hunt for it somewhere else. I think a new Green Lantern Dark came out. So yeah, anyway, I think that probably affects storytelling in a sense, which is a little bit of the tail wagging the dog. But, that's kind of the day and age that we live in. Almost everything goes to graphic novel. It affects floppy sales because people, I'll just get the graphic novel. And then you have stuff like, as I've been following, like the Pit graphic novel that just got launched on Indiegogo for Dale Keown. That's compiling the first 4 issues, and I think in issue number 1/2. So say 5 issues. But then they mentioned like they're going to come out with multiple volumes of that. And then at the end of that, they're going to come out with an omnibus. So I'm like thinking, I kind of want just the omnibus. So yeah, it's it's a trade-off a little bit of unless you're a crazy diehard fan of something, you probably won't plunk down for multiple formats if there's going to be multiple formats in the future. It answers the question, what if the Absolute Batman logo gained sentience and drew a comic book of it? So I do find it funny that Marvel and DC are trying to attract the manga reading audience while not understanding why they are reading manga in the first place. There's a little bit of that. They're like, we'll just release the format the same as they do, right? That'll be the same. Exactly, Jay. Why would manga fans want to pay more for less pages of a fake version of the books they already have? It's true. And I'd argue that if we're talking about that Batman book, that Batman Immortal book, it's like, that's not really Batman to be in a mech suit. And there was other characters that were like mechified in it too. And I was like, no, that's not for me. It doesn't have the flavor, the feel at all of what I love about Batman. All right, so this is the new book that came out. A new Mark Millar book. Continues to crank this stuff out. And he, what was the name of that book? I backed it, but I forgot what the name of that book was. I'm going to have to read it. It was Psychic Sam. Yeah, Mark Millar sent, if you don't subscribe to Mark Millar's newsletter, he gives updates on books, like when he's releasing new books and stuff like that. But he also updated on the Kickstarter book that he launched maybe 4 or 5 months ago called Psychic Sam. I backed that book, and it's looking awesome, at least the updates that he's posting. The artist is John Romita Jr., and one of the tiers was like to get a John Romita Jr. head sketch, and I was like, it was a little bit more pricey than I was willing to spend, but to get an original piece from John Romita Jr. for that much would be pretty awesome. So I bit the bullet and did it, and he showed a picture. I guess he's only doing 20 head sketches, and I got one of them. And so he showed a picture of a stack of head sketches, and they look so cool. So I'm excited for that to come out. Can't wait to share that with you guys when it does. All right, so this is the new book that I picked up this week. Mark Millar. Matteo Scalera is the artist. He's phenomenal. We talked about him a little bit a few streams ago. He's part of a a group of guys who puts out a podcast, a YouTube show called Ink Pulp. And it's Sean Crystal, Matteo Scalera, and Eric Canetti. And they have it's a great podcast. And I recommend you guys watch it. It's really funny, and it just gives you an inside look, because they're all working professionals. It gives you a great inside look on, you know, their careers, the stuff that they like, the struggles they've had, the challenges they've faced. And also they do great interviews with a lot of working professionals, because they've got a deep Rolodex. Those guys have got a deep Rolodex based on people they've worked with. One of them is Mark Miller. So they did an interview with him. And also, I'm pretty sure at the time they did the interview, Matteo Scalera was already deep in working on this book with Mark. And he has worked with Mark Miller before on... It's a spy book. Is he listed here in the back? No. Sometimes he has like an advertisement for his Miller World. It's not Absolute Spies. I'm getting that confused. You guys know what I'm talking about? I'll think of it in a second, or I'll look it up in a second. But that's where I actually first discovered Matteo Scalera's work. And I feel like he did that book with Mark Miller, and then he did a Mr. Freeze one shot, I think, which was awesome, really beautiful. He's an Italian artist, and yeah, he's got that like European total command of drawing. It's like ingrained in the blood of their education, their art education system of like, you guys need to know how to draw really well. So I love Matteo Scalera's work. When I heard he was doing this Nemesis book with Mark Miller, I was really excited. This cover is amazing. The current thumbnail of this stream is actually a Jay Lee cover of this book. And I saw it on the rack. I almost bought it, but I actually really love this cover A. I think it's just a cool image. Why did this cover get the White Wedding stuck in my head? I don't know. Why did it? Because he's all in white? So Nemesis, there's been several series with Nemesis, and he is pretty much the origin of him is, what if Batman was evil, was like the greatest supervillain of all time? So this guy's like a cajillionaire, and he's like at the like an incredible fighter, like equipped with all the like martial arts, and he can use all sorts of weapons, and he's just an incredible human specimen. And then he's really rich on top of that, but then and he's super smart. And so the difference between him and Batman is pretty much he's just bad. He's evil. So he's really, really evil. And he was one of the main villains of Mark Miller's crossover series called Big Game. But then he got captured, almost killed, and then he came back in the last series. And now this one is called Nemesis Forever. So I think the premise, he's just trying to conquer the world now. But he's super violent, no mercy. Kind of gives you that like sick feeling in your stomach when you see the things he does. That's like Mark Miller's signature move. That's cool. I'm back. That reminds me of like the flaming bat symbol for Dark Knight, or the flaming crow symbol for the Crow. This is great. There's not a character in this shot, but like amazing perspective, amazing buildings. Really cool. Just telling the colors. Giovanna Nero. Okay. Another European. Yeah, he's just on a different level, this guy, Matteo Scalera. So good. Wow, that's unnerving. Creepy. Those are awesome expressions here. I love that Nemesis costume is all white too. Maybe that's why you were thinking White Wedding, Lindsay Rose. But it just goes counter to like how dark he is. Similar to like how Batman, he's a good guy, but he wears all dark costume. So he's like the anti-Batman. It's great. Ugh. He's about to kill some people. If you haven't figured that out, he's about to go crazy. It's cool. Matteo Scalera does all this nice, like, dynamic perspective on stuff. The camera is always like 3/4 high. The lens is a little skewed. It's great. It's very hard angles that he picks to draw. I think this is going to be a 5 or 6 issue miniseries. It's a tricky thing too, because when you create a character as evil as Nemesis is, you got to make sure like there's something that keeps the reader coming back. You know, when your main character is so evil, like when you read stories about like the Joker or let's see who else, like Venom or just bad guys, they have to have a sense of, you have to have like a connecting likability, even if you don't agree with what they do, like a likability about them. Nemesis runs that line of like, he's really hard to relate to because he's so wealthy and evil. And so when I think of reading a book about him, it's almost like you're looking to see what is the train wreck he's about to cause. It's like, that's the feeling I get. Literal train wreck and also like metaphorical train wreck. It's like, how evil is this guy going to get? How gnarly is this going to get? As opposed to like, oh, like, yeah, Joker's a psychopath, but I kind of like, that taps into something that I like to read. I mean, Joker can get gnarly too, but so yeah, it's a fine line when you write a character so evil like this for it to be not just a total turnoff for readers. And Mark Miller does it. I mean, he really does it with this guy. There was a bit of humanity that was shown to him of this character in the last series, Nemesis. What was the name of the last series? It wasn't Reborn. Nemesis something, but he was injured for most of it and kind of recouping. So you could see like, oh, he does have a weakness, but then he came back. So now he's back with a vengeance. Sorry, my brain's not working. It's tired. K-pop Junkie says noise. Phil's here. What's up, Phil? Zaid Comics. The obligatory yo, Rocky. What's up, man? How are you? This is Sparta. Yes. Zaid Comics says, Mo? Yes, it's me. I'm in disguise as myself under my usual account. He's not hiding. Mo Biggs is out in the open. Everybody's saying hello to Phil. I'm so tempted to see Billy Idol and Joan Jett tomorrow. That sounds amazing. I think you should do it. Don't think, K-pop. Do it. Exactly. Why not see them? About to MDK some fools. Not sure if I'll be back from my appointment in time. Oh, it's an hour drive to get there. But they're legends. Joan Jett, Billy Idol, you might not see them ever again. I hate to say it. So I think you need to leave your appointment a little early and make it happen. All right, so we got Geiger 17, Absolute Martian Manhunter number 6, and Nemesis Forever number 1 are the 3 books I picked up today. But wait, there is one more. One more. This is a older book that I found in a discount bin. New X-Men. This is volume 7 called Here Comes Tomorrow. So New X-Men was at the time that I wasn't really reading X-Men at the time all this new X-Men stuff came out. So it's like Frank Quitely was an artist on it. Ethan Van Sciver, Cordy, all these guys. They did some great work, but it kind of was like a huge revamp. And a big part of that was Grant Morrison was the main writer at the time. And he's a great writer. So I didn't know anything about this particular run. However, the artist on this, Mark Silvestri, is one of my favorite artists. So when I saw this cover and I flipped through it, I'm like, oh, okay, this is peak, not peak, but like classic Mark Silvestri tied to or working with Grant Morrison. I need to have this. So I picked it up. I thought it would be cool to flip through it today. Didn't have an occasion to flip through it. So here are the other new X-Men books, which I think I have most of these. I need to go back and read this storyline. There's some great stuff in this storyline. But it was at a time that I wasn't regular with comic books, so I kind of have like bits and pieces of the stories floating around in my brain. But how could you pass up Mark Silvestri coming back onto X-Men here? Look at this Silvestri stuff. I love this. The pencil mileage that Silvestri brings to his work is nasty. And this is what year? 2004. Oh my gosh, 21 years ago. 2004 was 21 years ago, everybody. Ugh. Mark Silvestri was drawing this good, and he still draws this good. And he was drawing this good like 15, 20 years before this. That's awesome. He thick. Waist snatched. It's rumored that the Cowboy J persona was based on this version of Wolverine. He's been working out. This is back day for Wolverine right here. Comrade Sammy, is that what you look like when you came out of the gym this morning? You went to work out after sleeping for 2 hours? Back day. Done. This is cool. Cool stuff. Mark Silvestri's on anything X-Men is peak. So yeah, I don't know anything about this story. I need to kind of read it. Hopefully I don't need so much backstory to understand what's going on. But the artwork's awesome. This crazy eagle dude. Oh my gosh. I can't imagine inking something like this. The lines are crazy. I would have spilled ink like here, if it were me. was the other way around. Silvestri is a big fan of the time we spent together. You influenced it. You're like, yo, Mark, you need me to pose for that Wolverine? I got you. I got the cowboy hat and everything. That's cool. Blades. I mean, this is already after the time Silvestri is deep into like the darkness and Witchblade, so you can see him like injecting that into this X-Men stuff. Oh. Now, why did you do that, camera? Why did you do that? Ugh. Stand by. Why did you do that, camera? My camera's even tired. It's like, nope. Should be sleeping now. Okay, let's see. There we go. And is that focused? Oh, no. What are you doing? Why? Why did you reset like that? I don't understand. This is really professional. All right, I think... Oh! It just freaked out again. Weird. Huh. Is that my cue to end this? Goodness gracious. That's not good. That is not good. All right, I'm going to quit out here. Restart this. I'm confused. Me too, Mo Biggs. Me too. Oh my gosh. Yes, camera jump. We don't need professionally. We kind of do. We kind of do. Okay, let me try this one more time. If it doesn't work, I swear I am... Yeah, you're not working for me. If it doesn't work... Okay. It's not doing it. It's not loving it. Oy, oy, oy. Yeah, it's not loving it. I'm going to take this as a sign from the streaming gods that things need to take a break. Okay. Promising. Promising. Is that better? Are we stable? Oh my gosh. Apologies, everybody. This is totally embarrassing. Yesterday I dropped ink. Today my camera goes crazy. Look at this awesome. Look at this awesome artwork though. They can't all be super shows. No, why do you keep doing that? Oh my gosh. I can just hold it up like this. All right, I'm just going to flip through this quick and then we're good. Good thing this was the last book. Look, this is how I feel right here, right there. That's me. This was me about 5 seconds ago, and then this is me now. Awesome artwork. Hopefully this doesn't affect the votes for this book, because it looks cool. I don't know about the story. I don't know if any of you guys have read the story for this storyline. It seems like it's centered around a rogue sentinel, this guy. I don't know if that's Master Mold or what, but it looks awesome. This classic Mark Silvestri face. Love that. I'm not sure about this like bird with a do-rag, but other than that, everybody else looks amazing. All right, Mark Silvestri's sketchbook, yada yada. Wow, these are really rough sketches. I love that face. He's got like just the proportions on female faces, like perfect. All right, there you go. I got to figure out why this camera is so crazy, but there you go. Mr. Monkey Boy 1969 says, I like the shirt. Yeah, that's all you were seeing. It's never been needed. We have the lime jello cottage cheese video to prove it's true. Women don't understand how much things not working as they should bothers us. Is that a guy thing when like technology does not work? Is that a guy thing? That bothers the snot out of me. Hey, Chad, I was napping and forgot about this stream. What's up, Timmy Mello?
And the Guardians are headed to October.
It's okay because I should be napping. That's why the stream is falling apart. We had a late stream. Did you show up yesterday, Timmy Mello? I don't remember. If you didn't, go watch. It was a Master Study stream of the inks on John Byrne's page. That is going to be the last stream I did for that. I'm going to finish up all the rest of the tightening off stream, and then I'll post a picture on my community tab of how it turned out. It's turning out great. And that will be the first Master Study that I'm going to put the little red chop, which is my profile pic. I'm going to do that. I got to record that of me doing the chop on there. Watch, I'm going to like mess it up. That's what's going to happen. I'm calling it right now. I'm going to mess it up on that page. It's a cursed page. But yeah, we had a super late stream last night, almost 5 hours. And then now everything is falling apart because I can't keep it together. These women tried helping. You didn't listen. It's true. So whose fault is it for not being here? We need a good scapegoat. 1 for Cranberry, 2 for Mark, 3 for Katie. Amazing. Amazing. Not you, Katie. The other Katie, the British Katie. I think, right? Right, Mo? But Art and Times of Jay Ryan is voting for K-pop, I believe. Again. Twice. Twice he voted. 3 times. Lindsay Rose is bamfing out of here. Don't start pushing buttons. I'm seeing a distant lack of John. I'll blame him. Yes. Yes, you missed the camera going crazy. Everything is tired from last night. Can't blame John. Rocky kept him up well past his bedtime. I did. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. John went to bed as he wanted to. Just Irish goodbye this stream, Rocky. I don't even know what that means. What's an Irish goodbye? Is that a specific goodbye? A specific way of saying goodbye? All right, we got Geiger 17, Absolute Martian Manhunter number 6, Nemesis Forever, and New X-Men Here Comes Tomorrow trade paperback. Those are the 4 books that I very poorly showed today on stream. So let me know in the chat, guys. Let me know Geiger, Absolute Martian Manhunter, Nemesis Forever, New X-Men, Here Comes Tomorrow. You can just write New X-Men. Put it in the chat. Let me know what's your favorite book. We'll take a quick poll here, and then whoever is the winner, I will I'll change the thumbnail. Unless it's Nemesis Forever, because that's what the thumbnail is for. And then you guys will save me some work if you vote for Nemesis Forever. Oh, let's see. He isn't here to defend himself. Carmen Sammy says. Emo Trash says he sent me the link for the stream, apparently, but he isn't here himself. Smells like sabotage. Does the camera identify as female? That's a loaded question. I don't know. I don't think so. But who knows in this day and age? Rocky is as frustrated as Jay when he heard Silvestri say, "Slow down here, buckaroo. This ass doesn't have a healing factor." Sure, Mo Biggs. Sure. That's exactly what happened. You're not going to finish it on stream? This Master Study coverage is getting a bit spotty. I took it as far as I could, and then I'm going to finish all the little details afterwards. Because I can't imagine doing another stream. It's time to move on from that page. But I can't imagine another stream just doing like the border and some of the lettering. I don't know. Nah, I can't. I'm going to finish it off stream. Couldn't catch the Master Study. We had a morning game meet, but I'll watch the replay. Okay, awesome, Timmy Mello. Thank you. Around 2 hours and 50 minutes in is where it just all goes bad, goes south. So get ready. If I didn't believe in Jinx. K-pop is taking responsibility. Oh, the BAMF was on a page. I need to BAMF. Irish Goodbye is leaving without announcing your departure. Oh, okay. That happens all the time, I think, on streams. Just end the stream without warning or notice. Just cut it. Maybe. That's how Jay likes it. Mr. Monkey Boy, 1969 votes for Geiger, i.e. horses. Number 17. So let me see. That's stupid. Edit text. We're going with that. 1 vote, Geiger. Nemesis looked good. Art and Times, J. Ryan. There's got to be a better way to do this. Oh, I did. One thing that was cool about last night's stream was Cranberry Landers generously gave me a super chat last night, and I have this widget that appears that pops up now when somebody gives a super chat, as opposed to me missing it when it is given through YouTube. I'm trying to wean, not that I love YouTube, but I'm trying to wean myself off of some of the things that are kind of clunky on YouTube. Like the polls are kind of clunky on YouTube. The super chat notifications are a little clunky. So I'm trying to supplement it with other things that I've been finding that other streams do. And so, yeah, the very first time that widget worked was last night. And it was thanks to Cranberry Langers. Sort of, but with ghosting, you would never hear from them again. An Irish Goodbye, you might see them the next day. Huh. All right. Feels like you need to be in a relationship, a real relationship, for that to actually matter. Lindsay Rose is going with the Martian. Nice. Absolute Martian Manhunter. Well done. Emo Trash can already guess hers. I'm guessing it's Geiger, but I won't say until it's official. X-Men sounds like a good read. All right. Wow, everybody's getting 1 vote. Times says he's the pitcher. Just don't want it recorded in 4K if he sprays more ink on the page. That's right. That's probably why I'm avoiding. Cranberry Langer says Geiger, though I haven't looked at any others. Hey, I'll take it. Geiger's got 2. Emo Trash, are you throwing your vote in this? Is it going to be 3 for Geiger? Lindsay Rose. Oh, did you already say Lindsay Rose? Yes. Yes, I already got your Martian vote. You'll be happy to know that you got 0 votes to be the scapegoat for Rocky's dreaming competence. Emo Trash is voting for Geiger. That's 3 for Geiger. Seems like we're having a breakaway hit here. Comrade Sammy, did you vote already? Did I miss that? Comrade Sammy's just voting for a nap, I think. Cranberry Langers. I'm just going to give you another soundbite just because you're back.
This is a cranberry, full of power.
All right. Well, it seems like nothing Comrade Sammy can do will change the outcome of this. If you haven't voted yet already, Comrade Sammy. But I'll give you a second. Emo Trash says Ghost Machine's books are just superior. They are really good, and they have not faltered. Even their books that haven't been doing as well, like Hornsby and Halo, Rockefellers. I picked up Rockefellers for the first 3 issues or so. They're all still selling relatively well. There was another book that came out that was I think it was called Sisterhood. I don't know anything about that one. It was more in the horror genre for that one. But I even heard Hornsby and Halo, which I wasn't a fan of the artwork, was actually a pretty good book. So, yeah, who knows? But yeah, it's been impressive. Whatever their quality control or their executive board or their editors, whatever, they're keeping the reins very tight on quality for their products. Carmen Sammy says, I wasn't really paying attention. Nothing Comrade Sammy can do will change that outcome. Yes, sorry. Yes, Jeff Johns' new comic company, Ghost Machine, that's right. I mean, he's one of the founding partners on that. So, as you all know, Jeff Johns can write. That guy can write great stories, and he's the writer on Geiger, Rook Exodus, and Redcoat, and Hyde Street. I mean, all those are so different and yet really solid. So he's awesome. Yeah, don't doubt my ability to change the outcome. Something right. Is it Rocker Fellas or Rocket? It's Rocket Fellas, part of the sci-fi genre. Jay really likes movies about pants. Okay. Comrade Sammy says, I vote for the first one since it's winning. All right, officially, we got to vote. So Geiger has won this week's favorite book. Imagine that, a number 17 in a series, drawn by a guest artist, won best comic, favorite book of this week. Although half of you guys are like, I don't know, I didn't even pay attention. I'm asleep. Slacks is what horror is all of. That's a genius name right there. Yes, Rockefellers. It moved a little too slow for me. It started off really strong. The first issue was great, but then it moved a little too slow for me after a while. And then, I dropped off on that book. So it's still good though. It's still good. Is the Jell-O dish all gone? It is. Finished it last piece over lunch. So, it is all done. All right, there we go, guys. Geiger 17 won. Congratulations, all who voted. No, they did not. They did not touch the Jell-O. All right. That wasn't too long. Too long. It's going to be a shorter stream because, one, we had less books, but two, I'm tired and I still have stuff to do after the stream is over. So I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you for joining me. Hit that like before you go. And if you didn't watch the master stream from yesterday, all jokes aside, it was a really great stream because I do believe seeing mistakes happen and how to get over those mistakes. Like, it wasn't the end of the world. It did cross my mind at one moment, split second. I was like, do I have to start all over again? This could be a disaster. You can actually see it in my face when it happens. If you watch that stream of me thinking like, uh-oh. But then, you know, all it took was a few passes of the Pro White on those splotches, a couple redraws, we were back in business. So that is awesome. And if ever in the future somebody else owns that page, they'll get to see that right on that page, to see the strata of mistakes that happened live for you guys. So go back and watch that stream if you do. That will be it for the John Byrne. I have to think of what is the next master study on top of everything else. Working on getting membership set. I would love to launch that. It's not going to be like a launch, but I would love to get that going before the end of this week. So cross your fingers that might happen. If that involves another stream, holy moly, that would be a lot. But who knows? That might happen. Crazier things have happened on this stream. So stay tuned for that. But thank you guys so much for joining me this Wednesday. Have a great rest of your day. Get some rest. Take a nap. You have my permission now to shut off the computer, lie down, catch a couple winks, because it's been a long night. And I blame myself for that. Mobig says, it was kind of a semi-super show. Thanks for having us. Lindsay Rose says, thanks for being here, Lindsay Rose. Much appreciated. Always people that tune in for this, just to expand the love of comics, but also to like connect as a community. I love it. It's really enjoyable for me. I would not have gotten through last night's stream if it weren't for those of you sticking with it and watching me fumble through. So thank you so much. I always appreciate you guys being here. I might watch the end of that stream. Ciao, and thanks all. Have a good evening. You get to see the exact moment Rocky's soul leaves his body. So true. All right, permission to nap. There you go. All right, take it easy, everybody. Have a good evening. I will see you on the other side of sleep.